All right, in this video, we're going to cover the activity section in CallRail. You start out on the left over here. You can see where it says your analytics. And up here, you see activity. We did reports. Now we're going to look at activity. Here, you can see it automatically shows up and it shows you the recent calls, the last 30 days plus today. Gives you options for filtering by different companies that we have set up. You can break it down by days, weeks, and then you can add other filters as well. For the most part here, we're not really going to get into adding other filters. We may get into doing some custom ranges here, but for right now, we'll just look at it like this. This is the recent calls. And what you see here is obviously a little graph here. But you'll see the information, the company, the tracking number, what time it started, how long the call lasted, who called, the city that they called from, and this is where you can add tags to calls. You'll see if it's marked as a qualified lead or not. One thing to note is once you mark a phone number as a qualified lead and that phone number calls back later, it'll automatically mark it as qualified. Here, you can choose to listen to the recording of the call down here. You can add notes to the call if you want. Oops. Close that. So here you can add notes if you'd like. I think it's, where the heck's the notes section? I don't know. I don't ever use it. If you're using a web browser based version, you can call them back. You can view the timeline, and then here also you can click that to open up a more detailed timeline. Of course, we're still running on the slowest internet. So here you can see the detailed timeline, the recording of the calls available, the source, the medium, there's an inbound recorded call, and then this is showing you the history for that phone number. And I think that'll go back probably for the last 30 days or whatever we had selected on the previous page, maybe more. Looked like it was more. So there you can, if you want to change the name of that phone number as you have it saved, you can do so there. If you want to block that number, you can. If you want to call them using a web browser-based phone service like what's that one, Skype, or you have some other service, you can do that here. I think that, so you can do this. You can use the lead center, which we don't use, or you can click on that and you can say, I want to place an outbound call, and I'm going to select the number that I want to. What are we doing here? Hold on just a second. So first we'll call your phone. So we're going to have to add that number in there. Give it to CallRail so they know. So you can put your cell phone number in there like that. And then what it's going to do is the call that you place is going to go to this phone number, but it's going to appear to come from this phone number. So what'll happen is it'll call your cell phone, you pick up and answer, and then I think it tells you to push 1. And then when you do, it connects the call to this number, and the caller ID will come from that number. If you ever do place a call like this, you need to always click record the call. We're in the great state of Tennessee, and it is a single party consent state, so we do not need to inform anybody if we're recording our phone calls. This lead center is a soft phone, which is like a web browser based telephone you can use with your headset, and you can just place calls directly from there. But again, we don't use that, and you just click begin call and it'll place the call. So I think that's all we're going to cover right here, right now in this section, and we'll move on to the next video. See you guys in a little bit.